morning everybody, happy Vlogmas day 8. It is the 8th of December. Happy hump day, it's Wednesday. Woo! My day hasn't got off to a great start. If you watched our first Vlogmas, I explained that me and Rich had a little Christmas trip planned. That's may not be happening now, so I'll tell you what it was. So instead of buying each other lots of Christmas presents, we decided this year to book tickets to go and see the Stereophonics. So for both of us, it's one of our favourite bands. We love the Stereophonics, and they were playing a gig in Cardiff on the 18th of December. So we booked tickets and we booked a hotel for 2 nights so that we could go and hang around Cardiff for a little bit and explore what was going on there. Just had an email this morning to say that that's not happening. They've postponed the gig until June 2022. I get why they've postponed it, this new variant and all the ups and downs, and the Welsh government is getting quite panicky about everything, so I get that. It's disappointing, and Rich isn't here, so I can't get hold of him at the moment because he's obviously busy with whatever he's doing in Liverpool, and I can't get hold of him to discuss what to do. So I can change the dates of the hotel to June, that's fine, but I don't know if he still wants to go to Cardiff for a couple of days. I don't personally see the point if we're not going for the concert, because we don't have a lot of spare money at the moment, so I think it's probably sensible just to move the dates and go in June. But I can't get hold of him to see what he wants to do, so hopefully I'll be able to speak to him at some point today. But that's how my day has started off. Disappointment. But it can only get better from here, right? So let's do some advents, that'll cheer me up. So this is what we had yesterday. It is a leaky cauldron sign. So I'm getting this now. So this is like following Harry's first trip when he first finds out that he's a wizard. So obviously we start in Privet Drive, then we've got all the letters coming, then we've got Hagrid going to the house on the rocks, and then they travel to the leaky cauldron to get to Diagon Alley. So let's see what we've got in number 8. What is that? That just looks like a table with some drinks on it. Okay. I'm guessing we're still at the leaky cauldron. Cool. Let's find number 8 on here. So that is what we've got today. I'm going to guess that's Santa, but that is a terrifying Santa if that's what that is. Let's just eat him and get him out of the way. I don't like him. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, number 8 on this calendar. Oh, what have we got today? Seriously, every time. So I've got a coin. Rich has got some love hearts for when he gets back from Liverpool. And we have got a task to do today. Let's see what this is. For today's task, I hope it's something that involves staying in because it's still a really miserable day outside. Bake a gingerbread house. Ah, cool. I've actually got a gingerbread house kit that I bought when I did like a big craft shop from Hobbycraft. So I bought an actual kit this year to bake one. If anyone watched Vlogmas last year, I attempted to do, ow, thanks Tonks. I attempted to do a gingerbread house using the Disney Cakes and Sweets magazines and moulds, and that did not go so well. So I'm hoping this year it goes better and I can actually make a gingerbread house, because I've never actually managed to do one. I've bought ones like that are pre-made that you just decorate. But yeah, let's hope we can make this happen. I'm going to keep trying to get hold of Rich and find out what he wants to do about Cardiff. A little bit gutted because it would be nice to go away, but I just don't see the point if we're not going to the concert. Yeah, I'm sure we can find some other stuff to do that won't cost as much money on the weekend we were meant to be going away to Cardiff. It's the problem with the COVID and stuff at the moment, isn't it? Like everything is just so up in the air. Like I'm still not convinced that our holiday in January is going to happen with all the changes that are happening currently. We're now got to find like an extra £500 to pay for all the testing to go on holiday, which we don't really have lying around the house, so not quite sure what's going to happen with that. It's one of them things, isn't it? Like they've brought in all this new testing which makes it so much more expensive, but they haven't brought in anything that says you can cancel it. Thanks, Boris. Morning, Prime Minister. If you don't watch I'm a Celeb, you probably won't get that reference. I love Anna Deck. They're really making me giggle at the moment. Anyway, I am rambling this morning. Let's go bake a gingerbread house, but first I need to clean my kitchen because it's a bit of a mess. Right, kitchen is clean, apart from my floor, but I never see the point in cleaning a kitchen floor if you're about to bake. It's just no point, do it after. So, this is the gingerbread kit that I've got. It's from Baked In, it came from Hobbycraft like I said. And it comes with all the dry ingredients. Apparently you just need to add an egg white, butter and some water. Cool. Let's see what's in here. Okay, so this is what is in this kit. So we've got a bag of dark muscovado sugar. Bag 2 is apparently a mixture of flour, mixed spice, ground ginger and bicarbonate of soda. Bag 3 we've got some boiled sweets. 4 is icing sugar, and bag 5 we've got some milk chocolate beans. Then we've got some A4 baking paper, templates for the gingerbread house. We've got an empty bag, I don't quite know what that's for, and then we've got a piping bag as well. Yeah, right, I can do this. Yeah, I've put my oven on to preheat to 170 degrees because it's a fan oven, and I have got 165 grams of melted butter in here, and I've got to keep mixing this until the sugar, which was bag number 1, is all dissolved. So I hate using muscovado sugar, it's a pain in the butt, it just all clumps together, but I'm sure we'll get there. There we go, sugar is all melted, lovely. I now need to leave this to cool until I can move on to the next bit. So what I've done in the meantime is I've cut out my templates. So these little bits here, having read the instructions, are optional. So if you have any leftover gingerbread dough, you can use those to make extra gingerbread biscuits. And then these are the only templates we need for the actual house. So looking at it, these are like the main walls, and then these are the sides. So 2 of each of these apparently. It looks very simple, but this is me. Simple things generally don't go too well, but I'll catch you up when my sugar has cooled. Time to add flour and start bringing this into a dough. So this is the flour and spices and the bicarbonate of soda all mixed together. I probably should pour this in batches, but meh, let's just chuck it all in and see how we get on. Oh, smell the spices, yum. So it's starting to come together as a dough. Oh. And it says to add up to 45 mils of water, 15 mils at a time, so that's a tablespoon at a time. Grab some water. And what we're aiming for is a stiff dough that's smooth, that doesn't crumble, apparently, according to the instructions. I think it's time to start getting my hands dirty. My hands are clean, I have washed them. But I am going to take my rings off because I hate getting dough and stuff stuck in my rings. That's what she said. Right, so there we go. Gingerbread dough. I think that's about right. Now, in the instructions it doesn't say to do this, but from my knowledge of baking, like I know what I'm talking about, I'm actually going to chill this for about half an hour before I start working with it. I'm going to wrap it in cling film and I'm going to chill it. Like I said, it doesn't say to do this in the instructions, but I just know with biscuits and dough, it's always better to chill it before you start rolling and working with it. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to chill that for about half an hour. So while that is chilling, I actually need to tidy up my baking cupboard, because if you follow me on social media, you'll see that I do a bake-off challenge each year where I bake one thing from the bake-off every week. And during that time, my baking cupboard just turns into carnage. So I'm quite embarrassed to show this, but this is what my baking cupboard looks like currently. It is a mess. It is a big mess. So I'm going to tidy this up and see what bits and pieces I've got in here, and if there's stuff that I can get rid of, or if there's anything that I need more of. That's better. I've still got a lot of stuff, but at least it's kind of tidy in some kind of order now. There we go. Right, time to roll out my dough. So they provide you with 2 baking sheets that you can use to roll out your dough rather than getting your work surface all floury, so I appreciate that. Less mess for me to clean up. Right, so I'm going to split this dough in half. I'll put the other half that I'm not using right this minute back in the fridge. Right, put this bit on top. I'm just going to squish it down to start with. Now, roll in. So it says it needs to be about the thickness of a £1 coin, so I think I'm about there. Oh God, my arms are aching already and this is only the first batch. So let's cut out the first one. So I'm actually going to move this over to my baking tray before I cut out the window, just because then it won't be as fragile. Because I know if I try and move it after, I'm just going to rip it. So on my baking tray, let's cut out the window. There we go. We have a window. First one done. I now need to re-roll this lot and try and get another rectangle out there. Okay, so I have my 2 rectangles. They're supposed to go on the same tray, but they don't really quite fit, and I don't want them baking together. So what I'm going to do is bake them on 2 separate things. Okay, so before I roll the triangle bits and sort them out, I'm going to make the stained glass windows. So this is what this empty baggie is for, apparently. I'm not quite sure if that's going to be big enough, but get the little boiled sweets, put them in the bag, and then bash them. Bash the sweets. Oh, yeah, that clearly, little baggie, does not work, because look, all the sweet dust has come out. It's pierced the bag. Oh, goodness. Right, so, there we go. We have bashed up sweets. I'm now going to put some of this in that window, and then when it bakes it should create a stained glass effect. It says to pile it up a little bit because it will melt down, so piling them up. Right, I'm going to put these first 2 bits in to bake. It says 12 to 14 minutes. I always think it's best when doing a gingerbread house to overbake slightly because it will give it a firmer structure. And let's face it, no one ever actually eats a gingerbread house. I don't know about you, but I don't. Right, let's put these in the oven. So we got these bits baked. Awesome. So I'm going to leave these on here for a couple of minutes. To be honest, this is going better so far than last year's one, because I remember getting last year's ones out of the oven and they were like super soft. These are actually pretty solid, so I'm hoping, I did make a little bit of a tear there, I'm hoping that will hold up. But there we go. Leave these on the tray for 10 minutes and then I'm going to put them on my wire rack and then I will get the next bits baked. I should have mentioned, if you ever use this kind of stained glass thing in any kind of biscuits or anything, be very careful when it comes out of the oven because this is like molten hot. Don't touch it until it's cooled, but now it's cooled and it is a solid little stained glass window. Very pretty. Right, I'm going to roll out the rest of my dough, which is over here, to make the triangle sides, and then any spares I will make some gingerbread men. I'm not going to use the other cutouts because I actually have like a gingerbread man cutter, which is going to be a lot easier to use. So I might do some candy canes and things, but for the most part I think I'm just going to do some gingerbread men. Baked! I've also got some gingerbread men and little gingerbread decorations in the oven as well. So I need to let these cool. While they're cooling, I'm going to start making the icing. This is icing sugar. A bag of icing sugar, and I just need an egg white. I need to whisk up my egg white so it gets fluffy but not stiff, and then slowly mix it in with this and some water. So let's crack on with that and get some icing done. Icing is made. Look at the mess. I hate icing sugar. Anyone who bakes or decorates cakes probably feels my pain. Icing sugar is the bane of my life. I hate it. Right, so I've still got things cooling, so I can't quite put anything together yet. These are nice and cool though. So what I'm going to do, even though all these kind of gingerbread things say put it together before you decorate it, I'm actually going to do some little decorations around the walls. because I find it so difficult to try and pipe stuff onto things that are standing upright. There we go, we've got some walls decorated, kind of. I'm not going to stick the beans or anything on them, I'll do that later, because that does make it difficult to put together, but not the neatest, but there we go, we've got some decoration. These are just nearly cool, so I will do some decorating on them as well. And then I also made, like I said, I made some gingerbread men and some Christmas trees and some candy canes, so if I've got any icing left, I will decorate them. If not, they're probably just going to stay as is. So I've got triangles decorated. Just waiting for this icing to set a little bit, and then I'm going to put it together. I'm just putting a mug in the middle, just so that I can kind of position things. I think we're about there, which is just as well because I've pretty much run out of icing. Just trying to like get some of these bottom bits. Really just don't want it to collapse on me. Cool, right. So I've got a little bit of icing left from when I was doing my decorations before, so I'm going to use that to stick on some beans. And we are done. Do you know what? Considering I've always had disasters with gingerbread houses, I am very, very chuffed with that. And it's staying up as well. Oh, it's amazing. It might not be the neatest, but I've achieved it. I am quite chuffed with myself, I have to say. Never having been able to really do a gingerbread house before. Even the ones that you buy that are pre-made, that you just decorate. Me and my nieces tried to do one last year and it just fell apart. So I am chuffed with that. Baked in, gets a thumbs up from me. I don't quite know what to do with it now though, because I don't want the cats to eat it. So it's going to have to get stored up high somewhere. Yeah, not quite sure. I'll think of something. In other news, I've spoken to Richard, we're not going to Cardiff. We decided that as we're not going for the concert, we can't really afford to go for 2 nights just to bum about Cardiff. So we're not going, but we will find some other fun stuff to do that weekend because we're both off work. So we will find stuff to do that's Christmassy in place of going to Cardiff. I'm going to end this vlog here because I now need to tidy up the bombshell that is my kitchen. I am a chaotic baker, so there is stuff everywhere. So I need to tidy up and obviously get this vlog edited. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you have a magical day, and I should, in theory, see you tomorrow.